Welcome back, and we're moving to another part of this particular model, and this is part 8 of how we can create a truss. So we want to modify something here. You see, at the gable end here, at both gables, we have the truss, but you'll find it very hard to clad this end of the truss because we will not have a column beneath this bottom chord. Same applies to that end, and probably you want to have your doors on this far end, and if maybe you don't have a door there, you maybe want to clad, maybe using iron sheet or maybe just masonry wall, and it will be hard if we don't have a column here. Now we'll get rid of one truss. Let me just turn this round. Let me just pick my point of interest. Then I want to delete this truss here in column. Let me just delete that. So get rid of this far end, and also we want to get rid of this far end here. Main reason why we want to change this, we want to make this gable side a portal frame and that gable side a portal frame for just ease of cladding on both gable side, because if the truss are here, it will be harder to maybe create claddings for the gable side. Now I'll come here and maybe place a column right there. I'll place my column right there, and the column size I'll retain as this one. See, let me just double click so that we see the properties. It is IPE 300. Now I'll just select that and copy that, then close. Then if I come here, just double click, then paste the same profile name there. Then I'll click apply and give it an OK. So it is in place, but the orientation of this particular member, it's not the same as this. So the connection or placement of our portal rafter will be harder. So let me just select on it, then press Ctrl Q so that the orientation becomes in a better position. So I'll select that once again, right click and come to spatial copy and pick on linear. So I'll scroll closer to that joint, then span all the way to this far end here. So I'll snap at a distance of 15 here, and I'll snap it on that spot. So the moment I snap on that spot, I'll come here. As you can see on the z-axis, the x-axis is red, and the y-axis is green, and the upward is z. So on the x-axis, as it is now, it has been indicated. The moment I snapped on this span, you'll be able to see we have 15 meters there, or 15,000 millimeters. So I'll go ahead and click copy. So we'll have that column there. Let me just close that now. So the next step, I'm going to create a rafter. So to create a rafter is easy. We just come to beam here and snap on top of this joint here, snap on it, then move your cursor slightly upward, and we want to place a rafter. So press Control Alt, not Control Alt. The moment you place your cursor upward here, just enter, then press Control Alt, then type, because we have a span here, our span is 15. Now we want our rafter will terminate at the apex, will be at the center of 15 meters. So this will be 7.5. So I'll press Control Alt or Shift Alt. I'll press Shift Alt, then I feed in the half span of that 15 there, then a comma, then absolute 0, then a comma, then the height of the apex height will be 2 meters, 2 meters from top of this particular column, from top of this column. So that height will be 2 meters. So if I type there 2 meters and enter on my keyboard, right click and terminate that command by clicking interrupt, then if I come here, I'll be able to see I have my rafter in place, but this is just a default steel member, but we are going to change this right away. So I'll double click on it, then I'll come to this symbol here that shows a section of a column or a beam. So this is the button we click to access the whole catalog of all steel profiles. So I click on that spot, then I'll minimize this, I'll minimize that, and come to IPE catalog, still catalog. Let me just scroll up and I'll get my IPE catalog here. So I'm going to use 220. I'll pick on 220, then select. Then once I've selected on that, you can also see the properties. You can see the height, the width, the web, and the flange. Then I'll go ahead and click apply. So then once I click apply, you'll be able to see we have this in place, and you'll find the slope matches with that of our truss. Now, I want to mirror this on this end, so I'll select on this member, right click and come to mirror. So I'll pick on the special copy and pick on mirror. So our mirror line is still intact. It is the same position. I'll just go ahead on under options and click run. So the moment I do that, I'll be able to find my rafter moving to that end. So straight away start creating haunch connections right there. And maybe you want to adjust the haunch length, then double tap letter M, then enter on your keyboard. So this will bring the setting dialog box. So I'll come here and adjust this to 2.2 to 1.2 and enter that, and by clicking apply, then that. So I'll do the same the other end by clicking that and right click, and maybe I want to change that. So we can come back here and double click or select on any part of that flange on that haunch and double tap letter M, then press enter right there. So this will bring this dialog box. Then we can just set this to 1.2. Go ahead and click apply. So you can see that changing like that. So we'll do the same thing at the apex here. So where do we get the apex? We'll come to beam to beam connection here, then pick on the apex haunch here, then select on that and select on that, then select at the haunch there, then double tap letter M, then enter. So the moment you enter, this will bring our dialog box for the apex haunch setting. So let me pick my recent connection. Let me try that and click OK. It will not accept because this was a connection for a 200 or a 300, IPE. So in here, I'll just undo that and try and bring another setting for 300. But for now, let's just use this because our main intention is just to make sure we have our connection at the gable side made easy, because we'll have a column here and a column here. Now we'll copy this the other end. I'll copy this the other end, right click and come to special copy and click on that and snap at the end bottom end here, then move all the way to the other end and place it here. I'll place it right there. So if I click copy, I'll have that column this far end. So you can see that I have my gable on the other end. I'll have my gable at this end, so that when I place my gable columns, I'll be able to work. We are going to add columns here. We are going to add columns, but how do we add columns? We'll have to adjust our grid lines.